hi, welcome to Pictures, Noise and Words. I'm Hedgy.
And I'm Paz.
And this is Trivium. A song called The Wretchedness Inside, which they've just released literally on the 1st of October. This video, they've just released, that is. They've got a new album out, which looks a bit like that one over there. Go on, you can do it.
Ah, there you go.
The album's called The Sin and the Sentence. It's a very minimalist cover. That's the best thing I can say about that. I think the album's out already. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is. So, Trivium, not a band I know a fat lot about.
I hated them when they first came out. I can't remember, they had a breakthrough song and it was on the TV quite a lot. And I didn't like it. I think it was more of Matt Heafy's vocals. Hated it.
They went through a stage of sounding exactly like Metallica.
I think my Trivium history is a little bit patchy, about like our chat on this channel. And I think it was the Crusade after that. It was such a departure. I didn't like that one either. It's not going well.
It's going well.
And then when I was doing in my reviewing days, I was given Shogun, and that's when it all changed. I thought that was a tremendous album. Really good, really changed my opinion of them. And I followed them up to the In Waves album, which I thought was really good. And saw them live a couple of times as well, one with Killswitch Engage.
I saw them live.
We saw them at the Ritz, didn't we?
We did, saw them at Manchester at the Ritz.
And it was
and
amazing.
It was brilliant.
Brilliant gig.
Yeah, and I still didn't go out and buy all their albums. I saw this concert and I went in like this. A bit, you know, and by the end of it I was going, ah! So
we saw them at the Manchester Ritz, which is a 1,200 seater, well, 1,200 capacity, and it was sold out. And I always thought they were bigger than that, but that aside, we were up in the balcony and downstairs, because we're too old for the mosh pit.
Absolutely.
Or are we? We don't know. It was just a writhing mass of moshing. What an amazing atmosphere.
It was, and they were really good. They were better, far better than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
But I still didn't go out and buy all their albums. I have one album by Trivium, and I don't know which one it is. Every now and again, if I've got my iPod on random, I get just like a Trivium song turns up. And I tend to like it, and I still haven't gone out and bought their albums. So I don't know what it is that's stopping me from doing it.
Well, I saw them not so long ago, Killswitch Engage and then Trivium. I think there was a band on before, but it was a good gig that, but I wasn't well after it. I blame the heated atmosphere. I think I wasn't very well after it.
Not some dodgy burger or something.
No, I don't remember. Anyway, but over the years I have since warmed to Matt Heafy's vocals, but I have drifted away from it, not from Trivium's fault, but I think from just personally I've just been listening to other stuff. So this bit I've not heard this. So this will be quite interesting to see what it
Yeah, this is brand new.
Yeah.
I don't know how old the album is because, as usual, did zero research.
So yeah,
I think if I did research, I would ruin this channel.
it won't be as funny when you just go, I
know
nothing.
I can only assume that people come here to see me go, I have no idea.
But I always find the instrumental side of Trivium to be very appealing, and that's why I stuck with Trivium in the early days, because the solos were top draw, and some of the riffing was
I saw a
world
video
class as well.
I saw a video of Matt Heafy taking guitar lessons from John Petrucci.
Good teacher. Learn from the best, yeah.
They had the VHS tape that they took on the tour bus of like John Petrucci's, play the guitar like John Petrucci tape.
I wonder if I can get that.
it looked pretty worn. It looked pretty worn out.
Yeah.
Apparently, they watched it quite a lot. And then I saw Matt Heafy and John Petrucci did it, and they made this video. Go and look it up. It'll be on YouTube somewhere. I'm sure that's where I saw it.
VHS.
Of
shows old the old
VHS.
Trivium are as well.
I don't remember VHS. And of John Petrucci showing him things. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it was pretty staged. I don't think he was literally having guitar lessons, but it was just a good way of getting the two of them. He was clearly a fan of John Petrucci, basically, and So it was a bit of it was really kind of interesting to watch. But this is not that. This is, as I said, The Wretchedness Inside. It's off their latest album. But this video literally came out 2 days ago, 3 days ago, whenever it was. I don't even know what day it is now. We'll just play it, shall we? And let me just put my earpiece in first, because I always forget.
Prepared, you see.
I always yeah. So you've got it together, and I haven't. It's only been here like 2 weeks, and already he's got his act together better than I have.
It's not hard, though, is it, really?
See, you thought we were going to get all the way through this song, didn't you? Does it sound a bit Slipknotty in parts? I think it's that
only because they're using using 7-string guitars, so when they do bottom string stuff, that's what Slipknot use quite a lot. So there's a bit of familiarity between the two. I wouldn't overly say so. No.
I'm not saying it sounds like a Slipknot song. Just little bits of it. I think it just made me think, that sounds like a Slipknot kind of sound. But maybe I'm just pushing.
No, it didn't spring to mind for me.
It's just me. And it's all of the time. Caught me out then, didn't you, YouTube?
I thoroughly enjoyed that. I thought it was good groove to that.
Yeah, did the bit that I was saying was a bit Slipknotty, but might not be. It's some of the dad.
Didn't blow me away, I must admit, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think if that was an album track, it was really good.
Quite inventive. It did change a bit. It's not inventive enough, clearly.
It had some really cool parts in it. Yeah, I thought it was good. Yeah, I enjoyed that. I think it's not a problem with Trivium. I think when your band's been around for so long and you've done 6-7 albums, over it is, do you think they plateau? They find their niche and they don't really venture beyond it? And I'm only saying that.
Do you mean bands in general?
Yeah, not just Trivium, because when I heard the In Waves song, I thought it's a very similar sort of feeling to the song. So they obviously found where they're comfortable, where their strengths lie, and they're not really a bit like Disturbed. They very rarely come outside their comfort zone. Then is there an element
of when a band appears, one that does really well, and catches everyone's ear, kind of thing. Something made that happen. So something makes them unique, or if not unique, it's got a certain sound to it that people latch onto, and that's what makes them really popular. But that's their sound, and it's that thing of 6 albums in, that's what they sound like, and that's the thing they do. Like Disturbed, you know what you're getting. Because that's the Disturbed sound. So if they suddenly put out something that was completely different, like Opeth did, everything, you divide your audience. So I guess any band that has its signature sound is either trapped in it, or that just is who they are.
Yeah, it's a tricky one to discuss, because
so you get used to it.
Yeah,
so it stops being fresh, and you think, it sounds like the other.
Yeah, it sounds just like. See, this sounds just like Trivium, which is a good thing.
Which it should. Iron Maiden, though, kind of sounded like Iron Maiden.
Yeah,
that at some point that they're going to go, ding, 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 ding. Nico McBrain with his one drum beat.
Halloween as well. Their last one sounded like all the others.
Yeah, because that's what. But isn't that just what makes them who they are? That made everyone latch onto them in the first place. And like I say, they're either trapped in that sound because to go too far outside it take Halloween. They did Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 1 and 2, and it was, if anyone's old enough to remember that far back, it was amazing, and it was like the next Iron Maiden kind of size band, and then they put out Pink Bubbles Go Ape and alienated everybody by like having a brass section, calling their album Pink Bubbles Go Ape, having a song on it called Heavy Metal Hamsters. They shot off in this.
No, but
they diversified too much.
But later on, they did the Dark Ride.
I like that album, by the way, Pink Bubbles Go Ape, just for the record.
The Dark Ride album, they had a slightly different production on it, and then they went back to doing what they sort of do best a little bit with the Rabbit Don't Come Easy album. And since then, they did about 4 or 5 albums that are very similar. And then the latest one, God Given Right, was a bit too much.
I have not heard them. The latest one, I kind of
too much of what you've heard for the last 10 years. And it's no fault of Halloween at all. I think it's more the fault of the listener, i.e. me, thinking, I'm a little exhausted on it.
I either want this or I want something different.
Just mix up a little bit, and I get a little bit from this song, thinking, I've heard this before, even though I quite like it, and I will be checking it out when I get home from space. It's not going to stop me from. It's just something to raise for discussion, really. Maybe in the comments, and certainly here is when you've been listening to a band for so long. Do you want them to sound the same, or do you want them to push the boundaries, but not too far, like Megadeth did with Risk, or Metallica is always pushing the boundaries, always in the wrong direction, in my opinion. I don't know. It's an interesting, because Iron Maiden did it after they did the majestic Seventh Son. They tried to go back to basics, didn't they, with No Prayer for the Dying, and it was for me it was disaster. A lot of people do like that album, but I think it wasn't. It's not my favourite, put it that way.
Seventh Son was amazing, and
Opeth, prime example as well, where they completely changed their sound, as did.
Oh yeah, they turned into a 70s prog band.
Paradise Lost as well. They turned into a all metal version of Depeche Mode. And now they
Hearts Beating.
Yeah, and they've come
to Hearts Beating.
And they've come round full circle. Now,
Paradise Lost.
I don't know. It just. You do alienate the audience, but as an artist, you've got to keep progressing. Surely, you've got to push yourself.
But if you've got to a certain size and you've got a lot of fans, I mean, Trivium have a ton of fans now. You can't ever please everyone.
No.
So I guess you have to go figure out what the majority want. That's if you're doing the fan service thing, and to an extent that you have to. Really, it is a business. It is your livelihood. It is what you do for a living, kind of thing. So you can't go off and, if you suddenly become interested in Norwegian folk music, you can't suddenly go off and do that, and expect all your fans to come with you. So, I guess they became fans of your band because of how you sound. And because of the attitude you express and the emotions you sort of elicit. So what do you do? That doesn't mean there isn't room for evolving and growing and all of that. And a band's first album is probably never going to sound like the band's 5th album, just because someone's given you more money and you've had tours and tours of experience and a ton of practice. It's suddenly become your full-time job and all of that sort of thing. So you have to change, but what?
But if your record company is bankrolling your new album, then they do have a certain say in. We want it to sound like this. Please.
So you say, I've done this song, and you just on a harmonica, and the record company's going to go, new.
Unless your band becomes big enough to call the shots, like Iron Maiden, probably Metallica. But interestingly enough, Evanescence.
I've just thought something. Look, go on.
Evanescence,
this is going to be 50 minutes long. This video.
I didn't know until I looked it up. Evanescence didn't have a rapper, or when they first got signed, or they're about to get signed, and the record company said, "Oh, you need a rapper in your band," because that's what was selling. That was new metal, and they said no. but they had to come up with a compromise, which is why you've got male vocals in Bring Me to Life,
which I loved. That song.
And so the record company do have power to say that worked. Give me another 3 albums like that.
But I just had a thought, and it's not something I really thought about before. This is the power of discussion. In the old days, when some of you were born, in the old days, and people used to release singles, they'd have a B-side. And I guess even when they released CD singles, they would release songs that weren't on the album.
Yeah.
Is that your chance to experiment?
Possibly, but they tend to do covers, didn't they?
Not everyone.
Not everyone.
So you could kind of have a song. It's not going on the album. It's one we had that didn't make the cut for the last album. You know, we had 50 songs and we only had room for 10. Or it's something that I've written a song and it's not really the thing we do, but let's show it. I wonder if B-sides or B-tracks are a good place to have a go at. And then you might get a surprise where everyone latches onto, wow, have you heard the B-side? Because that happened with me with Iron Maiden a couple of times. Rainbow's Gold?
Oh, yeah.
Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
God, I love that song. I mean, admittedly, it was very Iron Maiden. They didn't exactly push the boundaries on that one. But you know, these songs that would come that you would never have got otherwise. So perhaps we need to bring back B-sides in some random way.
Well, they are knocking about, but they're used as a marketing tool now.
Yeah. Because
Megadeth's latest one, there was a US version, I think, a European version, Japanese version, different songs on top. Basically, do is buy 3 copies of the album because I want these extra tracks.
The Japanese music
stuck on the end. Yeah.
15 versions of the album, buy them all.
Yeah.
Anyway, I liked it.
Yeah,
I liked the Trivium song that we were talking about 10 minutes ago.
It's just something to discuss actually, because they've been around for so long. Is it do you want them to push the boundaries a little bit more, or have they found their niche?
Do you want the Trivium sound that
you know what you're going to get with Trivium? Because arguably they did venture outside their comfort zone with the Crusade album. It sounded nothing like the previous album before. I can't remember what it's called. So they have done it themselves, and then they went back to what they did best, which is more straight out metal and not Metallica worshipping.
Lineup changes can change the sound of a band as well.
Yeah, true.
Especially if you change the singer, because then your band, unless you're Camelot, then the band does sound different. Camelot must have searched high and low to find someone who sounds exactly like Roy Khan. I've said that before, and people in the comments said, "No, he doesn't." Yeah, he does.
He does a bit.
He sounds exactly right. Anyway, I think that's probably enough. I'll be surprised if anyone watching, if you've made it this far, just say I made it this far in the comments. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.